African American Studies is a relatively new curriculum. The first African American Studies class was created at San Francisco State University in 1968. The man shown in the picture, sociologist Dr. Nathan Hare, was hired at the university as the first department head of African American Studies during this period.
The 1960s was a period of social unrest in society, one example being the Black Power movement, which advocated for equality for all people of African descent. This was an important movement towards the establishment of African American Studies as students and faculty protested a 5-month strike at San Francisco State University in 1968. The Black Student Union, which was created in 1966, provided African American students a unified body in which they may stand up for Black rights.
African American Studies came out of the Civil Rights Movement, which involved extensive protests in order for African Americans to gain equal rights in America. These movements opened doors for many other protests regarding African Americans and their rights within the United States. The students of San Francisco State University used similar techniques from these movements to achieve their goals of establishing an African American Studies program. These protests were prominent on many college campuses across the U.S. This gave the students insight on how to perform protests at their school, that eventually led to African American Studies to be an accredited area of study on its campus.
We're going into the buildings as a mass, and we're going to ask people to come out of classes. And the point is, we're saying that people are going to come out of classes, and this school's going to be closed down. This school's on strike until he meets with us, until he meets those demands.
Every time he smiles at me, I can't keep my body still. Now I make up my mind, for he is one of a kind.
Get out, get out.
They grabbed me, threw me up against the wall, told me I was under arrest. I asked why. They did not tell me. I am a student. I am a student. I can be in any building I wish.
Get back, Pig! Get back, Pig! Get back, Pig! Get back, Pig!
They went out in support of the student demands of that little dissident group with their 15 non-negotiable demands. You talk about negotiating. I would call to your attention that the Black Student Union has declared that their demands are non-negotiable.
While we are in here trying to engage ourselves in a discussion and civil debate, what they're doing is behind our back. They're disregarding the objective of this convocation by continuing classes. They are seeking to maintain order and keep injustice at the same time.
Council of Academic Deans approved the implementation of Black Studies Department with full faculty power commensurate with that accorded all other departments at the college.
Today, in every classroom, every students that met began to discuss for the first time, seriously and concretely, the issues involved. There are a lot of people that are very confused. There are a lot of people who don't really understand why anything happened or what will be the outcome of it. But for the first time, they're discussing those issues. They're searching for the real meanings of everything that's troubling us in a microcosm here, which is the same thing that's troubling us in the overall country. And I think that, as the main achievement of what took place, is a fantastic victory.
On strike, we'll be back. 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 On strike.
So, when was the first African American Studies class introduced, or where? Do you know?
Location-wise, I don't really have any idea, but in terms of year, I'd probably have to guess somewhere around like the 1950s.
Do you believe African American Studies is relevant to American history?
Most definitely.
Can you elaborate? Why do you think it's important for students to learn?
Anybody and everybody's history is important to learn, because if you forget the past, you're condemned to repeat it.
Did you know we offer African American Studies classes at College Charleston?
Yes.
Have you ever taken one or considered taking a class?
No, I have not.
What do you think the classes consist of?
Just like the basic overall history.
History of African American Studies. Yeah. Can you guess what year the first African American Studies class was introduced?
Like 1990 something maybe.
90s. It was actually introduced in 1968 at San Francisco University. That being said, do you think all schools should include African American Studies in their curriculum?
Yes.
Why?
Because history of everyone is just important, and if it's history about the U.S. and like every other country, it should be about more than like one group of people too.
Yeah. Are you aware that we offer African American Studies classes at College Charleston?
Yes.
Have you ever taken one or considered taking a class?
Yes, I have.
You've taken one?
I have not. I consider taking one. I might be taking one in the fall.
Gotcha. Can you guess what year the first African American Studies class was introduced?
To CFC?
Yeah. Well, in general, to society.
Mid-80s.
80s? Well, it was actually introduced in 1968 in San Francisco State University. Did you know any of the movements that were taking place during this period of social unrest in society during the 60s?
Yeah. Civil rights movements.
Civil rights.
Protesting in Vietnam, so on and so forth.
Vietnam, gotcha. Do you feel that African American Studies is relevant in American history?
Absolutely.
That being said, do you think all schools should include African American Studies in their curriculum and be able to be offered as a class?
Yes.
Why do you think that's important to be offered?
It's history. Any history is important. If you don't learn it, you can't. If you don't know your history, then you may repeat the past.
So Dan, in honor of Black History Month, I want to ask you a few questions regarding the history of African American Studies.
Sure.
First off, do you know who the founder of Black History Month is?
I want to say Martin Luther King, but I don't really know.
It was actually Carter G. Woodson.
Okay.
He founded Black History Month. He also founded the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History. Before Black History Month was founded, Carter G. Woodson actually made what's called Negro History Week, which eventually transformed into Black History Month.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So as far as African American Studies is concerned, do you feel that schools should include African American Studies in their curriculum?
I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's definitely good to learn about culture in general, and even that specific segment of culture is definitely important. So I think it's a good idea to teach in schools.
Do you think that African American Studies is relevant to American history?
Yeah, definitely. Just as much as anything else is.